The CHARMS Outcomes Tracker can be thought of as a live document regarding an individual's progression around key areas or outcomes. Each outcome has a number of questions that relate to it. If we click the Edit button next to the first outcome, you can see that each question is given a score and is evidenced with notes. Once all questions have been answered and given a score, an assessment can be made. This assessment is like a snapshot of that individual's progression at that point in time. When an assessment is done and copied to history, it's called an historical assessment. These historical assessments are stored in the Outcomes Tracker and can be used to track an individual's progression over time. When starting an Outcomes Tracker assessment for an individual for the first time, you will need to click the Start Recordings button. Every outcome question will be empty, and their overall summary pie chart on their outcomes profile will be completely red, meaning it's incomplete. The questions for each outcome can be completed in two ways: clicking the Edit button next to each outcome individually, or clicking the Edit Recordings button to answer each question for every outcome in one page. The option you choose will depend on whether you prefer to answer all questions at once or not. Either option will let you save your notes as you go. In this example, we have clicked the Edit Recordings button to view all the related questions at once. The grey box at the top displays our outcome. This is the area of development that we are tracking, and below this in blue is our first question that relates to this outcome. We then have a few options. Next action date. The next date this particular question needs to be looked at. Action date. The date of this particular recording. Confirmed by. Who has confirmed these recordings? Verified by. Who has verified these recordings, if applicable? To the right, we have our scoring, from 1 to 5. Clicking on the relevant score will select that option. It is worth bearing in mind that the terminology and numbering here may differ from your organisations. Above the scoring, we have the option to mark a particular question as being not applicable or as being a priority. Below the scoring is the notes box to evidence why a certain score was given. You can type notes here to give a full description or answer to this question. If you are using either Chrome or Edge web browsers, you also have the option to voice type. The Save button at the bottom right of the screen can be used as you complete each question. Please note, scoring descriptions, outcomes and related questions can be modified by your super user, giving your organisation the ability to track any outcome. Once all questions have been answered and the Edit Current Recordings box closed, the overall summary pie chart will turn green, and you can now use the Copy to History button in the Outcome Profile page. It will prompt you for an assessment date, the date you have decided to take a snapshot of this individual's outcomes, and the date of when the next assessment needs to take place. It is at this point that you also select which user within your organisation should receive a CHARMS diary reminder for this. When an Outcomes Tracker assessment is copied to history, it saves a copy of this to the individual's CHARMS progress. To include or exclude sections of this assessment in the report, you can use the tick options to customise what to leave in. We'll leave each tick box selected to keep all items in the report. Click Save to save this current assessment. Going forward, when another assessment needs to be completed for an individual, you can open each outcome and modify the existing scoring and notes and copy again to history. There is no need to start from scratch normally, but if necessary, for instance, if you have modified your outcome titles, the Restart option in the Edit Recordings button can be used to clear all current recordings and pull through your latest set of outcomes and related questions. In our next and final video on the Outcomes Tracker, we'll look at how to use the Settings section.